Hello, ang topic natin ngayon is for Electronics 1, Electronic Devices and Circuitry, which is about extrinsic semiconductors. So by the way, meron akong previous video about intrinsic semiconductors. So kung hindi ka pa napapanood, ililink ko na lang sa description para meron kayong idea, panoorin nyo muna dito sa mga concepts na discuss natin for this topic. Extrinsic semiconductors. So sabi, since the electron and hole concentrations in an intrinsic semiconductor are relatively small, only very small currents are possible. So doon sa previous video natin, nag-solve tayo kung paano kumuha ng intrinsic carrier concentration, right? So, mapapansin natin na since purely silicon lang yung ating element, mas mababa yung kanyang intrinsic carrier concentration. So, kaya mababa rin yung currents. Meaning yung mga carriers natin is onti lang yung mga electrons, free electrons na nakawala sa covalent bonds. Okay? So, paano masosolusyonan yun? However, these concentrations can be greatly increased by adding controlled amounts of certain impurities. So, para mapataas natin yung concentrations ng mga carriers, pwede daw tayong mag-add ng controlled amounts ng impurities. So, dito papasok yung extrinsic semiconductors. Okay? A desirable impurity is one that enters the crystal lattice and replaces or i.e. substitutes for one of the semiconductor atoms even though the impurity atom does not have the same valence electron. Okay? So, mag-a-add tayo ng impurity doon sa pure crystalline silicon natin para mabago yung concentration ng mga carriers. Okay, so kahit daw iba yung ating number ng valence electrons, okay lang. So take note sa silicon, 'di ba? Ang number of valence electrons is 4. So sabi dito, for silicon, the desirable substitutional impurities are from the group 3 and 5 elements. Okay, so dito sa periodic table, yung portion ng periodic table, so nakita na natin to sa part 1, yung mga semiconductor natin nasa column 4 or nasa group 4. Particularly yung silicon tsaka germanium, yung ating concern dito for semiconductor. So kapag nag-dope tayo or nag-add ng impurity sa silicon crystal, pwede tayong gumamit ng elements from group 3 or elements from group 5. Kapag group 3, ibig sabihin yan, meron tayong valence electrons na 3. Halimbawa, si boron, si aluminum, gallium, indium. So, any of the elements dito sa group 3, pwede nyo yung i-dope dito sa silicon. Tapos, pwede rin naman, kung gusto nyo, elements from group 5 or sa column 5. For example, phosphorus, arsenic, and antimony. Ito naman, merong mga valence electrons na 5. 'Di ba? Okay. So, kapag kinumbine natin itong group 3 element sa silicon or germanium, mga semiconductor, magiging extrinsic na yung semiconductor. May hinalo na tayong impurity. Or pwede rin naman maghalo kayo ng element from group 5 like phosphorus, arsenic, antimony sa silicon or germanium, magiging extrinsic semiconductor para maging improved yung kanyang conductivity. Okay? Or tumaas yung concentration. Intrinsic semiconductor, intrinsic carrier concentration ng semiconductor. Okay? Para mas tumaas yung current. So the most common group 5 elements used for this purpose are phosphorus and arsenic. So simulan natin sa group 5. So pwede daw yung most common group 5 elements na dinodope is si phosphorus and arsenic. Okay, for example, when a phosphorus atom substitutes for a silicon atom as shown in figure below, 4 of its valence electrons are used to satisfy the covalent bond requirements. The fifth valence electron is more loosely bound to the phosphorus atom. So halimbawa, ito yung crystal natin, lattice for silicon, right? Nagbuo sila ng covalent bond. Okay, ito yung mga bonds. So sharing of electrons as discussed sa intrinsic semiconductor video ko. Mga silicon atoms, yan. So sabi, kung magdodope tayo dito ng phosphorus, which is yung element sa group 5, so pinalitan ko yung isang silicon atom ng phosphorus atom, denoted by P. So 'di ba, ang valence electrons ng phosphorus ay 5. Ang kailangan lang natin para mabuo yung 8, palagi octet rule sa covalent bond is 4. Kasi may 4 ka na sa silicon, pero yung nasa phosphorus mo 5. So ang mangyayari, i-share nung phosphorus yung 5 ay yung 4 niya, ito. Tapos yung isa, yung pang-5, okay, magiging loosely bound na siya. Okay, magiging free electron siya. Okay? So sa pag-dope natin ng phosphorus, imagine mag-dope kayo ng maraming phosphorus atoms, hindi lang isa, mas dadami pa yung mga free electrons, okay? Dahil doon sa excess electrons ni phosphorus. Kasi nga 5 yung valence electrons niya, para makapag-share tayo ng electrons with the silicon, total of 8, 4 lang yung kailangan. Kaya itong pang-5 is magiging free electrons. Okay? So, at room temperature, this electron has enough thermal energy to break the bond, thus being free to move through the crystal and contribute to the electron current in the semiconductor. So at room temperature at 300 Kelvin, so makakalaya or wala na siya doon sa bond, pwede na siyang mag-move, makaka-acquire siya ng enough thermal energy to break the bond at magiging free electrons na siya. So kapag mas marami kayong denope, in-inject dun sa silicon crystal ng phosphorus, mas marami rin yung kanyang electrons. Aside pa doon sa intrinsic carrier concentration ng silicon at room temperature 300 Kelvin. So kaya, sa by process na ginawa natin, tinatawag na doping, na-improve nga natin yung concentration, di ba, nung silicon. Kasi mas dumami yung free electrons due to yung excess electrons ng proton, ay nung phosphorus. Okay, tapos, ano sabi? When the fifth phosphorus valence electron moves into the conduction bond, a positively charged phosphorus ion is created as shown in the figure. So, di ba, initially, ang any atom is neutral. Okay, any atom is neutral, like itong si phosphorus, supposed to be number of electron is equal to number of protons. Pero dahil nawala sa kanya, nag-lose siya ng isang electron, hindi na siya neutral. Magiging ion na siya. Which is, meron na siyang net charge na kapag nag-lose ka ng electron, mas marami ka ng proton kesa sa electron, okay, magiging positive charge na siya. So, naging positive ion na ngayon itong phosphorus. Pero hindi siya makakagalaw kasi nasa band siya, yung phosphorus. Covalent band siya. Nasa covalent band pa rin siya. Yung mga nakakagalaw lang sa kanya is yung kanyang electrons dun sa valence band. Okay, so ito, nagde-denote tayo na meron na tayong positive ion or yung phosphorus is may net charge na positive dahil nag-lose siya ng isang electron. So, mas mataas na yung number of protons niya kumpara sa number of electrons to. Yan. So, the phosphorus atom is called a donor impurity. So, bakit siya tinawag na donor? Kasi nagdodonate siya ng isang electron. Di ba? Yung excess electron niya, dinodonate niya para maging free electron. Since it donates an electron that is free to move. Although the remaining phosphorus atom has a net positive charge, the atom is immobile in the crystal and cannot contribute to the current. Yes, yun nga yung sinabi ko kanina, immobile siya kasi nasa bond pa rin siya. Okay? So, hindi siya nakakapag-contribute sa current. Okay? Yung positive atom na yan. Therefore, when a donor impurity is added to a semiconductor, free electrons are created without generating holes. Yes. So, wala tayong gene-generate na holes, di ba? Kasi, yung electrons na naging free is from the proton. Excess lang yun, excess lang siya nung phosphorus, kaya wala siyang generate na hole. Unlike sa intrinsic silicon, dun sa previous video ko, kapag nakapag-acquire yung silicon, kapag nakapag-acquire yung mga valence electrons ng enough thermal energy, 'di ba ang tendency is pwede na silang mag-break sa covalent bond. So, pwedeng umalis, let's say mapunta dito, anywhere sa crystal lattice, mag-iiwan sila ng hole. Okay? So, meron ka na-generate na electron-hole pair. Pero dito, kapag nag-dope ka ng phosphorus sa silicon crystal, wala kang mag-generate na hole. Puro, electrons lang. Kaya, mas magdo-dominate ngayon dito sa crystal silicon na to kapag nag-dope ka ng phosphorus or any element from group 5 is yung free electrons mas dadami. Okay? Kumpara sa holes. Mas dominant yung number ng electrons kumpara sa holes. Okay? So, this process is called doping. Ayan yung sinabi ko, doping. Basta nag-inject kayo, naglagay kayo, nag-mix kayo ng any impurity, pwede yung mga elements sa group 3 or group 4, sa intrinsic semiconductor like silicon, doping yung tawag doon. And it allows us to control the concentration of free electrons in a semiconductor. So, makakontrol nyo na yung, yung concentration. Depende kung gaano kadami yung i-inject nyong impurity, like phosphorus, di ba? So, a semiconductor that contains donor impurity atom is called an N-type semiconductor. So, kaya siya tinawag na N-type kasi 'di ba yung N, it stands for negative. Since yung mga electrons yung dinodonate ni phosphorus which is negatively charged. Kaya N-type. Nagdo-dominate dito sa N-type semiconductor is yung mga electrons, free electrons. For the negatively charged electrons and has a preponderance of electrons compared to the holes. Yes. So, sabi, in N-type semiconductor, electrons are the majority carriers and holes are the minority carriers. So, yes, kasi, di ba, mas marami naman talagang electrons kumpara sa holes. Kaya, ang electrons sa N-type yung majority carriers. Tapos yung holes is yung minority. Yung mga minority carriers lang na to dito sa N-type is due to the intrinsic carrier concentration. Okay? Doon sa silicon structure, kapag nakapag-acquire yung electrons natin sa valence bond or valence electrons natin ng enough thermal energy para tumawid from valence bond to conduction bond. So, ito yung illustration natin ng N-type. Okay? So, meron tayo ditong mga circle with positive sign. Yan yung mga ions. Yan yung mga phosphorus na denope natin. 'Di ba kapag denope natin yung phosphorus, naglulose siya ng electron, magiging positive ion na siya. Okay? Tapos yung mga minus sign na to, yan yung mga carriers, yung mga free electrons. Tapos yung mga positive sign na yan, yan yung holes. Okay? Or pwede rin siya yung bilog. Kasi holes. So mapapansin nyo, mas dinamihan natin dito sa illustration yung electrons. Kasi majority carriers nga sila. Kumpara sa holes, mas onte, minority carriers sila. So tandaan nyo sa N-type, majority carriers are the electrons and holes are the minority carriers. Magdodope ka dapat dito sa intrinsic semiconductor silicon ng elements with 5 valence electrons. Okay? Or nasa group 5 elements. So kung meron tayong N-type, meron din tayong yung counterpart niya P-type. So, yun yung gamit ng mga elements sa group 3. 'Di ba kanina sa group 5, ngayon sa group 3. Okay, eto yung mga elements sa group 3 na merong mga valence electrons na tatlo. Sige. The most common group 3 element used for silicon doping is boron. So, boron naman daw yung sikat na group 3 element for doping. So, when a boron atom replaces a silicon atom, its 3 valence electrons are used to satisfy the covalent bond requirements for 3 of the 4 nearest silicon atoms. Figure below. Excuse me. Ito naman. So, meron ulit tayong silicon crystal. So, let's say etong atom na to is silicon siya originally, pinalitan natin ng boron. So, 'di ba yung mga valence electrons ng group 3 like boron is this time 3. Ang kailangan natin para mabuo yung 8 is kasi meron ka ng 4 sa silicon, sharing of electrons, kailangan mo pa 4 dapat para maging 8. Kaso, yung boron, ang number of valence electrons niya lang is 3. So, mag-iiwan siya ng puwang, hole. Okay? Kasi nga kulang siya. Kulang pa ng isa. 'Di ba kanina sa phosphorus sobra. Sobra ng isa, so nabuo yung 8, nagkaroon ka pa ng extra. Pero ngayon sa boron, kulang ka naman ng isa. So, nag-generate ka naman ngayon ng hole. Okay? Which is still, ano rin yan, in-improve niya rin yung concentration natin. Remember, dalawa yung types ng concentration na kinukonsider natin na concentration. Holes and electrons. So, dito, nag-increase yung number ng concentration ng holes. Kasi, di ba yung holes, although talaga ang nagmo-move is mga electrons, kinoconsider na rin natin yung movement ng holes as if nagmo-move yung holes. Halimbawa, yung electrons is nagmo-move from left to right, from right to left. Dahil sa pag-move ng electrons, pag-fill ng electrons sa mga holes, as if inisip na rin natin na nagmo-move sa opposite direction yung holes. Okay, so kaya, na-improve din natin yung concentration ng holes, which is, part din naman siya ng kino-consider natin na current flow. Okay? This leaves one of the bond position open. So, ito yun. At room temperature, adjacent silicon valence electrons have sufficient thermal energy to move into this position, thereby creating a hole. This effect is shown in figure below. Yan. So, dahil nga at room temperature at T300 Kelvin, magkaka-acquire tayo ng yung mga electrons natin ng enough thermal energy. So, yung mga boron atom natin dito na merong na-create na hole, so pwedeng mag-move yung mga electrons natin from that position to that position na hole. So, magkakaroon na tayo ng movement of electrons. So, na-improve natin yung concentration due to that hole na fini-fill nung mga electrons na nakawala sa bond at room temperature. Which is, hindi lang yan isa, pwede nyo naman dagdagan yan ng number ng boron. Isa lang yung pinakita natin, pero pwede kayong mag-inject or mag-dope ng a certain number of impurities na boron para mas dumami pa yung ating holes. The boron atom then has a net negative charge but cannot move, and a hole is created that can contribute to hole current. Ayun. So parang doon sa phosphorus, hindi rin makaka-move yung boron kasi nasa covalent band siya. Okay? Yan. Pero magiging ano na siya, negative ion. Kasi 'di ba, merong mga free electrons na magbe-break sa bond na kung adjacent dito sa boron, okay, ifi-fill yan ng electrons. So ang mangyayari, magkakaroon na ng net negative charge yung boron kasi mas marami na yung kanyang electrons kumpara sa proton. Kasi magiging apat. Apat na yung kanyang electrons from original 3. So, bale, magkakaroon na siya ng net negative charge or magiging negative ion na siya. Okay? So, dito sa case natin sa p-type, magkakaroon tayo ng negative ion dun sa mga doped impurity like yung boron. Kanina dun sa n-type, I mean yung sa phosphorus, naging ano siya, positive, naging negative ion. Ay, positive pala, sorry. Positive kasi nag-lose ng electron. Yan. So, becomes a negative ion, number of electrons is greater than number of protons. Kasi, for example, dito, yung electron na to, okay, adjacent siya dito sa hole ng boron, pwede siyang mag-move. Okay? Considering na nakawala na sa bond itong electrons due to obtained enough thermal energy. So because the boron has accepted valence electron, the boron is therefore called an acceptor impurity. So acceptor naman siya. Kanina yung phosphorus is donor kasi nagdo-donate siya ng electron. Ngayon, si boron nag-accept naman siya ng electron, di ba? Tulad nito, yung hole natin na to ay phenyl nung free electrons kaya nag-accept siya ng electron. So, acceptor impurity siya. Acceptor atoms lead to the creation of holes without electrons being generated. So, wala tayong generate na na electrons. Okay? This process also called doping can be used to control the concentration of holes in a semiconductor. So, kapag nag-dope ka ng maraming borons, mas dadami rin yung concentration natin ng holes. Okay? Kasi, nagke-create ng holes yung injected boron dun sa silicon crystal. Unlike dun sa phosphorus kanina, ini-improve niya yung concentration by increasing yung electrons naman. Dito naman sa boron or sa boron, in-increase niya yung number of holes. So, a semiconductor that contains acceptor impurity atom is called a p-type. Ayun. So, yung counterpart ng n-type is p-type. P kasi positive for the positively charged holes created and has preponderance of holes compared to electrons. So, mas marami ngayon this time ng holes sa p-type kumpara sa electrons. Kaya sabi in p-type semiconductor, holes are the majority carriers and electrons are the minority. So baliktad naman. Okay, so sa p-type, mas marami tayong holes. Yan yung majority carriers, tapos yung electrons is the minority. So ito yung illustration natin ng p-type. So itong mga bilog na merong negative sign, yan yung mga boron. Okay, yung impurity natin na naging positive ions. Nag-gain, mali. Negative pala, sorry. Negative. Okay. Nag-gain kasi sila ng electrons kaya negative ions na sila. Okay. Kanina, positive ions for N-types. Ngayon, P-type negative ion. Tapos, ganun pa rin yung mga positive sign dito, yan yung holes. Okay, tapos yung mga negative sign, yan yung free electrons, yung mga carrier. So, napansin nyo, mas dinamihan ko yung mga positive sign kumpara sa negative sign. Kasi nga, P-type ito, mas marami yung holes, majority carriers, kesa sa electrons. Okay? So, the materials containing impurity atoms are called extrinsic semiconductor. So, extrinsic semiconductor na nga yung tawag sa kanila kapag meron na tayong ginawang doping. Unlike sa intrinsic semiconductor, na yun na-discuss ko sa previous video, purely isang element lang, silicon lang. Okay? At by the process na ginawa natin yung doping, mas naging effective yung mga extrinsic semiconductors in terms of the concentration ng mga carriers and hence yung current natin is mas tataas. Okay? The doping process, which allows us to control the concentrations of free electrons and holes, determines the conductivity and currents in the material. So, yun nga. So, depende sa pag-dope natin na gagawin, pag-create ng extrinsic semiconductor, makokontrol nga natin yung concentration ng free electrons and holes at ma-improve yung conductivity nung conductivity doon sa material or pwede nating makontrol yung flow ng current. So, yan yung concept ng extrinsic. So, mahalaga to, kailangan nagagets nyo yung ano yung N-type tsaka P-type. Okay, later on kapag bumuo tayo ng PN junction, which is the diode. So yes, so a fundamental relationship between the electron and hole concentration in a semiconductor in thermal equilibrium is given by, okay, so NO-PO is equal to Ni squared, where NO is thermal equilibrium concentration of free electrons, PO is thermal equilibrium concentration of holes, Ni is the intrinsic carrier concentration. Ito yung i-discuss ko sa intrinsic semiconductor video. Ang formula natin ng intrinsic carrier concentration is capital B T raised to 3 halves e to the negative Eg over 2 kT. Okay? Ito constant to, depende sa material. Si B tsaka si Eg. Okay? Yung K yung Boltzmann constant, tapos yung T yung temperature. Yan. So, ito yung mahalagang relationship. So, at thermal equilibrium, meaning stable na yung temperature, constant na siya, kapag minultiply mo raw yung concentration ng free electrons sa concentration ng holes, equal lang dapat yan sa Ni squared. Yung Ni is yung intrinsic carrier concentration. Okay? As if, ano pa siya, wala pang nakadope. No thermal equilibrium is a state where the temperature is uniform and stable with no external energy sources like applied electric fields or light, meaning the rate of electron-hole pair generation is exactly balanced by recombination. So sabi, kapag nasa thermal equilibrium na raw yung ating isang semiconductor, dapat daw yung temperature niya is uniform and stable. So hindi na nagbabago. Tapos, wala ka ring ina-apply na external energy sources like electric fields or light. At, ibig sabihin, yung rate of electron-hole pair generation is exactly balanced by recombination. Ano ba yung recombination tsaka electron-hole pair generation? So, alam na natin yung electron-hole pair generation, di ba? Process of producing electron-hole pairs due to thermal excitation. So dun sa intrinsic semiconductor, kapag nag-acquire ng enough thermal energy yung electrons natin, valence electrons, pwede siyang mag-break sa bond. So aalis na siya doon sa kanyang bond. Like kunyari ito, initially meron siyang electrons dito. So once mag-acquire ng thermal energy, pwede na siyang umalis sa bond and then lumipat sa adjacent hole. So naka-create tayo ng free electrons at hole. Okay, yun yung tinatawag na electron-hole pair generation. Yung recombination naman is the process of electrons filling some hole resulting to disappearance of free electrons and holes. So, kabaliktaran. So, kung nag-generate tayo ng electron hole, yung recombination, if-fill naman ng electron na naging free, yung hole, let's say sa silicon crystal. Nasaan ba yung ano natin? Ito. So, nagkaroon tayo ng generation, di ba? Umalis yung electrons dito sa hole. Tapos, kapag pumunta ulit siya or finil niya yung adjacent hole, nagkaroon tayo ng recombination. Ayun. So, yun yung recombination. Nag-recombine ulit yung free electrons sa hole. So, kabaliktaran sila. Okay? So, kapag daw nasa thermal equilibrium na tayo, yung rate daw ng electron-hole pair generation is exactly balanced by recombination. So, para masabing nasa thermal equilibrium, kailangan equal yung rate ng electron-hole pair generation sa recombination. At room temperature, T is equal to 300 Kelvin, each donor atom donates a free electron to the semiconductor if the donor concentration ND is much larger than the intrinsic concentration. We can approximate. So, di ba, at room temperature, T is equal to 300 Kelvin. So, assuming nag-dope na tayo, okay, nagkaroon na tayo ng impurity, considering meron tayong donor atom na nag-donates ng free electron, kapag daw yung donor concentration denoted by ND is much larger than the intrinsic concentration. Kasi yung intrinsic concentration, di ba, for the whole and electron, it should be equal kapag nasa intrinsic tayo. Okay? Na-discuss to sa intrinsic semiconductor video ko. Pero dahil naglagay tayo nag-dope tayo for donor concentration, let's say nag-dope tayo ng phosphorus. So, mas dadami na yung ating concentration ng holes, ng electrons, denoted by N, small n. Tapos, kung mas malaki yung ating donor concentration ND kumpara dun sa intrinsic na N, denoted by NO, so in-approximate natin na yung pinaka-total total concentration ng electron NO at equilibrium is equal to ND. So na-outnumber na nung donor concentration natin yung intrinsic electron concentration. Kaya in-approximate na lang natin na equal siya sa ND. Sa sobrang laki nito. Sabihin, nag-dope tayo ng maraming electrons na na-outnumber niya na yung original concentration ng electrons. Which is ganun naman talaga, napakaliit kasi kumpara sa ND nung intrinsic carrier concentration ng electron eh. Kaya nga tayo nagdo-dope para mapataas yung concentration. Kaya talagang napakalaki ng ND kumpara sa N. Kaya yung total NO natin is in-approximate na lang natin ng ND. So, dahil dyan, dun sa equation natin kanina na NOPO is equal to Ni square, dahil yung NO natin is in-approximate na natin na ND, pwede nyo ngayong i-substitute. So, substituting ND, okay, NO dapat to, diba, sa formula. Since NO is approximately ND, substitute, and then solving for PO, ito naman yung whole concentration natin at equilibrium. Bale, cross-multiply nyo lang si ND dito. PO is Ni squared over ND. Yan. So, ito yung formula natin. NO is approximately ND, tapos yung PO is Ni squared over ND. Ganun din kapag at room temperature, kapag acceptor atom naman, yung nag-accepts ng valence electrons. Kapag let's say nag-dope tayo ng mga boron, mga acceptor impurity. So if the acceptor concentration Na naman kapag acceptor concentration, yung number ng holes na na-create due to doping process, adding impurity na boron, is much larger than the intrinsic concentration, we can approximate. Ayan naman, so yung PO naman natin is i-approximate natin as Na. Kasi nga, ma-outnumber uli nung acceptor concentration Na, yung intrinsic carrier concentration na holes. Kaya, in-approximate na lang natin na NaCPO. Tapos, using the same equation, di ba, NOPO is equal to Ni square. Sinubstitute natin ngayon sa PO si Na. Tapos, solve natin ngayon yung NO by dividing both sides by Na. Kaya, ito yung formula natin for concentration ng electron. Ni squared over Na. Kapag considering to na meron tayong this is for P-type. Sa P-type ito, tapos ito sa N-type. Tandaan niyo yung mga keyword. Yan. Donor atom, N-type. Acceptor atom, P-type. Ayan. So, ito lang yung tatandaan nating formula ngayon for this topic, extrinsic semiconductor. So, para ma-illustrate kung paano gamitin itong formula, mag-solve tayo ng example. Calculate the thermal equilibrium electron and hole concentrations. So, sa A, consider silicon at T is 300 Kelvin, doped with phosphorus at a concentration Nd equals 10 to the 16 centimeter to the negative 3. Yan. So, sa part A, consider silicon daw at T is 300 Kelvin doped with phosphorus at a concentration Nd equals 10 to the 16. Hanapin daw natin yung NO, yung thermal equilibrium electron and hole concentration. NO and PO. So, dahil ang denope natin is phosphorus, di ba ano siya? Donor impurity. So, approximately, NO should be equal to ND. Di ba? Which is 10 to the 16 centimeter to the negative 3. Tapos, makukuha natin si PO using the formula Ni squared over Nd. So, ito lang yung ginamit natin. Dahil donor concentration yung given, NO should be approximately equal to Nd. Tapos yung PO is Ni squared over Nd. So, kailangan natin ng Ni. Pero, na-discuss ko na to na yung Ni at for silicon, intrinsic carrier concentration for silicon, that's 1.5 times 10 to the 10. Ito ay at temperature 300 Kelvin. So, pwede nyong i-recheck. Ang formula ng Ni is B T raised to 3 halves e to the negative Eg divided by 2 kT. Tapos, nandito yung mga constant natin. Sige. Kung gusto nyo lang balikan, na-discuss ko na to sa part 1, sa previous video natin dito, sa intrinsic semiconductor. Ito yung mga constant. Kaya naman na, wait lang. Yan. Yan. So, ipa-plug in nyo lang dito dahil silicon tayo. Plug in nyo B, ito. Tapos, yung T, 300. Tapos, yung Eg, plug in nyo 1.1. Tapos, yung K, Boltzmann constant, 86 times 10 to the negative 6 electron volt per Kelvin. Verify nyo lang kung gusto nyo. Ito yung mako-compute nyo. Anyway, kung gusto nyo mapanood yung intrinsic semiconductor na discuss ko, nakalink lang sa description. Check nyo na lang. So, hindi ko na kinumpute. So, substitute na lang natin. PO is, so Ni, 1.5 times 10 to the 10 squared. So, anong unit nito? Centimeter to the negative 3 kapag concentration. Tas squared divided by Nd, 10 to the 16. 10 to the 16 centimeter to the negative 3. So, anong magiging unit niyan? Ano pa rin? Centimeter to the negative 3. Kasi, i-distribute nyo to, yung exponent, bale, 1.5 times 10 to the 10 squared. Tapos, centimeter to the negative 3 squared divided by 10 to the 16 centimeter to the negative 3. So, i-evaluate nyo yan sa Calcu. 1.5 10 to the second times 10 tapos squared over 10 to the 16. Yan. So, ang mako-compute natin is ito. 22,500. Sa ano yung unit? Ito magiging cm to the negative 6 divided by cm to the negative 3. So, makakancel nyo to kasi pwede tong cm to the negative 3, cm to the negative 3, cm to the negative 3. So, kung mapapansin nyo, napakaliit ng PO. That's 22,500 centimeter to the negative 3 lang compared sa NO, which is 10 to the 16 centimeter to the negative 3. So, kaya minority carriers lang talaga si PO sa N-type. Tapos si ND, yung nagdo-dominate, yung concentration ng electron, mas malaki. So, siya yung majority carrier. So, part B, meron pang part B. Consider then silicon at T is 300 Kelvin doped with boron at a concentration of Na equals 5 times 10 to the 16 yan, centimeter to the negative 3. So, sa part B naman, denope naman daw si silicon with boron at 300 Kelvin pa rin temperature. So, ibig sabihin, magiging P-type yan. Kasi boron yung denope, di ba? Tapos, yung concentration ng Na, anong boron, or nung whole concentration natin, is 5 times 10 to the 16. So, bale, ang gagamitin natin, PO is approximately equal to Na, which is 5 times 10 to the 16. Tapos, yung NO, using the formula Ni squared over Na. Okay, ito lang yung ginamit natin kasi P-type naman tayo. PO is approximately Na and NO is Ni squared over Na. So, substitute natin. So, si Ni same lang, silicon pa rin naman at 300 Kelvin temperature. So, 1.5 times 10 to the 10. 1.5 times 10 to the 10. Huwag ko nang lagay yung unit. Okay. Squared na natin agad. Ang unit nito, final is cm to the negative 3. Divided by Na, which is 5 times 10 to the 16. So, input nyo sa calcu, 1.5 times 10 to the 10 squared. Numerator divided by 5 times 10 to the 16. Anong mali? Ay, nadoble. Nadoble yan. Ito rin nadoble. Sorry. Yan. Ngik. Mali. 5 times 10 to the 16. Yan. So, 4,500. 4,500 cube centimeter to the negative 3. So, mapapansin natin, mas mababa talaga yung concentration ng hole ay ng electrons 4,500 kumpara sa concentration ng holes 5 times 10 to the 16. So, kaya majority carrier is the hole at minority carrier is the electron kapag p-type. Okay, sige. Next, number 2. Calculate the majority and minority concentration in silicon at T is equal to 300 Kelvin for I ND is 2 times 10 to the 16 centimeter to the negative 3. 2 is NA 10 to the 15 centimeter to the negative 3. 8 to, tapos part B. Repeat part A for gallium arsenide. Yan. So, silicon pa rin, dalawa yung gagamitin natin or sasagutan natin. Yung I, part I, kapag daw ND or kapag ND meron tayong donor concentration. Sige, sa A. So, dahil meron tayong ND, yan na yung magiging majority concentration. So, N-type ito. Majority, kapag N-type, si N, right? Electrons. So, NO is approximately equal to ND, which is yung given 2 times 10 to the 16 centimeter to the negative 3. Tapos yung PO, Ni squared over Nd. Okay, which is, so alam na natin yung Ni for silicon at 300 Kelvin temperature, 1.5 times 10 to the 10 squared divided by Nd, 2 times 10 to the 16. So, ang unit, centimeter to the negative 3. Ayan. So, same lang dito sa na-input ko. Palitan ko na lang yung denominator. 2 times 10 to the 16. Okay. Which is 11,250 centimeter to the negative 3. So, sa part 2 naman, pinalitan lang yung ating naging Na tayo, yung dope concentration natin. So, ano na siya? P-type, 'di ba? Acceptor impurity. So, Na, dahil P-type na tayo ngayon, so approximately yung P natin, whole concentration at equilibrium, is equal to Na, which is equal dito sa given 10 to the 15 centimeter to the negative 3. Tapos, para makuha si NO, yung formula, Ni squared over Na. So, ang Ni uli natin is 1.5 times 10 to the 10 tapos squared divided by NA 10 to the 15. So, ang unit, centimeter to the negative 3. Final unit. So, palitan nilang natin yung denominator. Gawin kong 10 to the 15. Okay, so that's 225,000. Or 225. Ito yung NO. Next, so sa part B naman, i-repeat lang daw natin yung part A. So kukuhain natin yung majority tsaka minority concentration. This time, gallium arsenide naman at T 300 Kelvin for part I and part 2. Part 1 and part 2. So sa B, so kapag gallium arsenide naman, so ang makukuha nating Ni dyan at T is equal to 300 Kelvin. So nakuha na natin to dun sa previous video ko sa intrinsic semiconductor. Equal yan sa 1.6 times 10 times 10 to the 6. 1.8 times 10 to the 6. So kuhain nyo na lang uli ang formula. BT raised to 3 halves. Verify nyo ha. E to the negative EG divided by 2 KT. Gallium arsenide naman yung kuhain nyo. Mga values. Ito, gallium arsenide, EG 1.4, B 2.10 times 10 to the 14. Verify nyo na lang. Okay, so for part 1, so dahil ano rin yun, di ba? ND ulit. Ito na yung majority carrier concentration or NO approximately equal to ND. Same equal to 2 times 10 to the 16. Tapos yung PO, Ni squared over Nd. So may iba ngayon sa formula is yung bagong Ni kasi ginawa na natin gallium arsenide. Substitute 1.8 times 10 to the 6 squared divided by Nd, 2 times 10 to the 16. So final unit, cm to the negative 3. So input natin sa calcu, 1.8 10 to the 6 squared divided by 2 times 10 to the 16. Okay. So napakaliit. 1.62 times 10 to the negative 4 centimeter to the negative 3. So sa part 2, so ang part 2 naging Na naman yung given, di ba? 10 to the 15. So yan na yung magiging majority concentration natin or P. Kasi P-type. Approximately equal to Na equal to the given na ano yung given natin? 10 to the 15 centimeter to the negative 3. Yan. So, bale, makukuha naman natin si NO is equal to Ni squared divided by Na. So, yung Ni uli, substitute 1.8 times 10 to the 6 squared divided by the Na, 10 to the 15. Ang final unit, cm to the negative 3. So, palitan na lang natin ito, yung denominator. Gawin kong 10 to the 15. Okay, ang makakompute natin, 3.24 times 10 to the negative 3. 3.24 times 10 to the negative 3. Yan. So, yan yung sagot. Okay. So, next problem pa ba? Okay, 3. Find the concentration of electrons and holes in a sample of germanium that has a concentration of donor atoms equal to 10 to the 15 centimeter to the negative 3 is the semiconductor N-type or P-type. Repeat part A. Wag na to. Yan. So, find the concentration of electrons and holes in a sample of germanium that has a concentration of donor atoms equal to 10 to the 15 centimeter to the negative 3 is the semiconductor N-type or P-type. So, obviously, dito pa lang sa tanong na is the semiconductor N-type or P-type, alam na agad natin. Ano siya? P-type. Kasi, meron tayong donor atom. Mali. Donor pala, sorry. N-type. Diba pag donor, N-type yon. Magkakaroon tayo ng excess electrons. So, majority si electrons. Okay? So, N-type yan. Tapos, kuhain natin yung concentration ng electrons and holes. Bale, for germanium, alam natin sa, eto considering to na at T is equal to 300 Kelvin. Ano yung Ni natin ng germanium? So, kung kukuhain nyo yung Ni ng germanium, that's 2.4 times 10 to the 13 centimeter to the negative 3. So, again, ginamit lang dyan is yung B, T raised to 3 halves, e to the negative Eg over 2 kT. So, ang gagamitin nyo naman dahil germanium, dun sa table kanina, Ito. EG is 0.66, B is 1.66 times 10 to the 15. Tapos yung K, Boltzmann constant, Ito, 86 times 10 to the negative 6. So, plug in nyo lang yung temperature dito, T na 300 Kelvin. Makukuha nyo to. So, hindi ko na pinakita kasi nasa lesson to sa previous video eh. So, balikan nyo na lang sa intrinsic semiconductor. So, dahil N-type tayo, yung electron concentration, yung majority, approximately equal doon sa concentration ng donor atoms. Yun yung ND, di ba? ND, capital ND, equal to 10 to the 15. 10 to the 15 centimeter to the negative 3. Tapos, para makuha yung whole concentration, PO, at thermal equilibrium, that's equal to Ni squared divided by Nd. Yan, so yung nakuha na nga natin na Ni for germanium, eto, substitute 2.4 times 10 to the 13 quantity squared divided by Nd, which is, eto, 10 to the 15. So, final unit palagi, cm to the negative 3. So, pag ginamitan natin ng calcu, input nyo lang, 2.4 times 10 to the 13 quantity square divided by 10 to the 15. Ayan. 5.76. 5.76 times 10 to the 11 centimeter to the negative 3. So, yan yung sagot. Problem 3. Ito naman, baguhin lang natin. Okay, find the concentration of electrons and holes in a sample of gallium arsenide that has a concentration of acceptor equal to 10 to the 16. Yan. Is the semiconductor N-type or P-type? So, gallium arsenide naman. Okay? Dito pa lang, sa tanong na semiconductor, is semiconductor N-type or P-type? Yung keyword kasi natin, meron tayong concentration of acceptor atoms. Eh di kapag acceptor, di ba, P-type. Okay, so therefore, P-type siya. P-type. Tapos kapag germanium, gallium arsenide pala, sorry. Gallium arsenide, alam na natin yung Ni kanina, 'di ba? At T is equal to 300 Kelvin, 1.8 times 10 to the 6, 'di ba? Yung ginamit ko rin dito sa problem 2. 1.8 times 10 to the 6th. So, dahil p-type tayo, yung yung whole concentration natin at thermal equilibrium PO equal doon sa given concentration ng acceptor, approximately equal. So, sila yung dominant, di ba? Majority carriers yung holes, which is Na ito equal 10 to the 16 centimeter to the negative 3. Tapos, para makuha yung NO, formula Ni squared over Na. So, ang Ni uli is 1.8 times 10 to the 6 squared divided by the Na, 10 to the 16. Yan. So, gamitan nyo na lang ng calcu. Ang unit pala nito, centimeter to the negative 3. Using calcu, 1.8 times 10 squared divided to the 6th pala, sorry. Let's 6 squared divided by 10 to the 16. Yan. So, 3.24 times 10 to the negative 4. 3.24 times 10 to the negative 4. Okay. Problem number 5. Silicon is doped with 5 times 10 to the 16 arsenic atom per cubic centimeter. A is the material, N or P-type. Calculate the electron and hole concentration at T is 350 Kelvin. Yan. So, silicon is doped with 5 times 10 to the 16 arsenic. Take note of the word. Yung atom na denote. Arsenic atom per cubic centimeter. A is the material, N or P-type. And B, calculate the electron and hole concentration at T is 350 Kelvin. Ayun. So, kailangan alam lang natin kung saan ba nakabilong yung arsenic. So, saan nga ba nakabilong si arsenic? Group Group 3 or group 5? Dun sa portion ng natin ng periodic table. Okay, so si arsenic nasa group 5. So, ibig sabihin, ano siya? Donor. Donor impurity or magkakaroon tayo ng N-type. So, ang sagot sa A is the material N or P. N. Kasi nga, nasa group 5 si arsenic. Donor impurity. Yung ND niya, concentration daw is 5 times 10 to the 16 centimeter to the negative or over cm cube. Calculate the electron and hole concentration at T is 350 Kelvin. So this time, kailangan nating i-compute yan. Hindi na siya room temperature eh. Yung T natin is 350. Sige, kuhain natin yung Ni. Ni ng silicon. Sige, para ma-recall uli natin. Formula Bt raised to 3 halves. Tapos e to the negative Eg divided by 2 kT. So, ano yung B at T ni B at Eg? So, for silicon, ang Eg is 1.1. Tapos, yung B is 5.23. 5, ano nga natin, copy natin. 5.23 times 10 to the 15. Okay, sige. Substitute. Ito yung B. Tapos yung T, substitute nyo, 350. 3 trace to 3 halves, e to the negative Eg, 1.1 divided by 2K. So yung K is 86 times 10 to the negative 6. Ano yan? Boltzmann constant times temperature uli, 350. Yan. So, compute nyo lang sa CalQ. Check natin yung makukuhang Ni. .23 times 10 to the 15 times 350 raised to 3 halves alpha E raised to negative 1.1 over 2 times 86 times 10 to the negative 6 times 350. Okay, 3.97 times 10 to the 11 centimeter to the negative 3 unit. Yan. So, kuhain natin ngayon yung NO. Kuhain daw yung electron and hole concentration. Kasi NO will be equal to ND. Kasi nga N-type. Diba? Approximately equal to ND. Which is, ito, 5 times 10 to the 16 centimeter to the negative 3. Tapos, para makuha yung whole concentration, PO, at equilibrium, formula, PO is Ni squared over Nd. So, yung kakakuha pa lang natin na Ni for silicon at 350 Kelvin, ito, substitute, 3.97 times 10 to the 11 squared divided by Nd, which is 5 times 10 to the 16. So, ang unit, centimeter to the negative 3. Okay, using CalQ, input, 3.97, 11 times 10 to the 11, quantity squared, over 5 times 10 to the 16. Okay. 315,2180. Okay. PO and NO. Okay, problem number 5. Problem number 6. Ito. A silicon sample is fabricated such that the whole concentration is PO 2 times 10 to the 17 centimeter to the negative 3. Should boron or arsenic atoms be added to the intrinsic silicon atom? B, what concentration of impurity atoms must be added? C, what is the concentration of electrons? Yan. A silicon sample is fabricated such that the whole concentration is PO equal to 2 times 10 to the 17 centimeter to the negative 3. A, should boron or arsenic atoms be added to the intrinsic silicon atoms? Okay, so ang given sa atin is yung concentration na raw ng material natin, extrinsic na siya, yung whole concentration is PO equal to 2 times 10 to the 17. Ano daw dapat i-add? Boron or arsenic? So, di ba kapag intrinsic, silicon, ano yung Ni natin? So, walang binigay na temperature. Consider 300 Kelvin. Yan. Diba ang Ni natin is 1.5 times 10 to the 10 centimeter to the negative 3. Kung i-compare nyo yung Ni sa PO, anong mas malaki? Mas malaki si PO kasi times 10 to the 17 compared sa times 10 to the 10. Ibig sabihin, P-type ito. Okay, lamang yung holes natin. So, therefore, this is P-type. So, ang i-add natin dapat is nasa group 3. So, sino kay boron at arsenic yung nasa group 3? Diba si boron, yung example natin sa lecture kanina. Tapos si arsenic, kakasagot lang natin, the arsenic belongs to group 5 right? So, ang i-add natin dapat is boron. So, donor kasi si arsenic, acceptor si boron. Para makabuo tayo ng p-type. Tapos sa part B, what concentration of impurity atoms must be added? Yun na. Yun na yun, yung PO, yun na impurity na inad nyo, approximately equal to Na, which is 2 times 10 to the 17. 2 times 10 to the 17 centimeter to the negative 3. Tapos, what is the concentration of electrons? So, yung NO na yon, that's Ni square over Na. So, yung Ni natin, 1.5 times 10 to the 10 squared divided by Na, 2 times 10 to the 17. So, unit, final unit, cm to the negative 3. So, input nyo na lang sa calcu yan. Okay. 1.5 times 10 to the 10 squared divided by 2 times 10 to the 17. Okay, 1,125 centimeter to the negative 3. Okay, C, B, A. Ano number na to? Problem 6. Seven. A silicon semiconductor material is to be designed such that the majority carrier electron concentration is NO 7 times 10 to the 15 centimeter to the negative. Tanong, should donor or acceptor impurity atoms be added to the intrinsic silicon to achieve this electron concentration? What concentration of dopant impurity atom is required? Tapos B, in this silicon material, the minority carrier hole concentration is to be no larger than PO equals 10 to the 16 centimeter to the negative 3. Determine the maximum allowable temperature. Ayan, medyo mahaba. A silicon semiconductor material is to be designed such that the majority carrier electron concentration is NO equal to 7 times 10 to the 15 centimeter to the negative 3. Should donor or acceptor impurity atoms be added to the intrinsic Si to achieve this electron concentration, and what concentration of dopant impurity atom is required? So, A mo na yun, di ba? Part A. So, sinabi na rin sa problem na yung keyword majority carrier electron concentration given NO equal 7 times 10 to the 15. E di, anong i-add natin kung majority carrier? Ano yung idodope natin sa silicon? Donor, di ba? Tsaka pag kinumpare nyo sa Ni, ang Ni natin sa silicon, di ba, 1.5 times 10 to the 6 at to the 10 pala. Okay. So, mas dominant talaga kasi 10 to the 15 etong NO sa Ni. Kaya, donor dapat yung ating i-add para maging N-type. Maging majority carrier is electron. So, donor is should donor impurity or yes, donor impurity should be added. May tanong pa sa A, what concentration of dopant impurity atom is required? Eh di yun na rin. 'Di ba? Yun yung ido-dope nyo. Kasi ito na rin yung approximately equal sa ND. Okay. So, ND natin, NO is approximately equal to ND, which is 7 times 7 times 10 to the 15 centimeter to the negative 3. Okay. So, sa part B naman, in this silicon material, the minority carrier hole concentration is to be no longer than PO equal 10 to the 16 centimeter to the negative 3. Determine the maximum allowable temperature. So, paano ngayon natin marerelate yung temperature dito sa given PO? Diba? Meron tayong formula na PO is equal to Ni square over Nd. Right? Tapos, may formula tayo sa Ni equal to Bt raised to 3 halves e to the negative Eg over 2 kT. So, pwede natin isolve dito si Ni squared. Cross-multiply natin si Nd. So, PO times Nd is equal to Ni squared. Gusto nyo, i-square din natin to both sides. Okay? Para yung product ng PO times Nd, equate nyo na lang dito sa Ni squared. Right? So, magiging ang unknown natin is si T, temperature. Okay? So, bale, PO times ND is equal, ito na yung NI squared, di ba? Is equal sa BT raised to 3 halves. And then, in-square pala natin to sa mangyayari. Didistribute nyo yung exponent, magiging B squared. Tapos, T raised to 3 halves times squared. Then, e to the EG, negative EG, 2KT squared. So, di ba pag power to power law, mamamultiply yan. Magiging B squared T to the 3 halves times 2, cancel, T cube na lang. Tapos dito rin, e to the negative EG over 2KT times 2. So, makakancel yung 2, magiging negative EG over KT. Yan, equals P naught ND. Okay, so i-substitute natin. So si PO given ay 10 to the 16 times si ND, yung nakuha natin sa part A. 7 times 10 to the 15. Equals B. Ano yung B ni silicon ulit? Kuhain natin. Ito. Silicon, B niya is ito. Tapos ito yung EG. Copy ko. Sige, copy natin yung B. Pero naka-squared siya ngayon. T cube, siya yung T yung nawawala, unknown. E to the negative EG, 1.1 over K, 86 times 10 to the negative 6T. Yan. So, ano siya? Equation in one unknown T. Medyo mahirap to kasi exponential. Try nating i-shift solve sa calcu. So, input 10 to the 16 times 7 times 10 to the 15 equals 5.23 times 10 to the 15 squared times yung t gawin kong alpha x raised to the third times e raised to negative 1.1 divided by 86 times 10 to the negative 6 times alpha x, and shift solve. Kailangan medyo malapit sa expected x. Siguro lagay ko sa 300. Medyo magsa-struggle si calculus yan kasi exponential equation eh. Check natin kung kaya. Kayanin mo. Tama ba yung na-input ko? Wait ah. Okay, sorry. 10 to the 6 lang pala 'to. Baguhin ko lang. 10 to the 6th. Yung nasa problem ay 10 to the 6 lang si P. So, babaguhin ko lang yung given. Okay, ito yung na-compute niya. Napakataas 685. Kung 10 to the 16, 685 Kelvin. Pero, namali kasi ako ng sulat, it should be 10 to the 6th. 10 to the 6 lang to. Ulitin ko, input natin. 10 to the 6. Yan. Ito yung kapag 10 to the 16. Pero pag 10 to the 6, ito kasi yung nasa exercise talaga. 10 to the 6. Yan. Shift solve 300. Medyo matagal. Pero na-solve niya pa rin. Ayun, so tama. 324. Ito yung sagot sa problem. Approximately 324 Kelvin. Okay, so yun. So ito yung na-discuss natin ngayon. Ang topic is extrinsic semiconductor. Ayan. So abangan nyo yung next video tutorial natin for LX1. Follow nyo lang ako sa ating account para manonotify pag may video tutorial tayo next time. And subscribe din kayo sa ating YouTube channel, Engineered Math. Lilink ko na lang sa description yung mga past video tutorials natin. Tsaka yung pinaka-playlist ng LX1 para mapanood nyo lahat ng mga video tutorials from first lesson to last lessons ng LX1 para meron kayong gawing reviewer or guide playlist from our YouTube channel. Okay, sige, see you on my next video tutorial. Bye-bye!